Hello, I am Shazza. Welcome to my channel Hooked on Books. I am going to do the Booktube Newbie Tag 2.0 because I've wanted to do this for ages and I actually think the questions are really good. When I first started I did do the original Booktube Newbie Tag, but this one is far superior, so I'm going to do it. What genres would you like to see talked about more on Booktube? I feel like all the genres that I like are talked about in Booktube. It's just a case of it's kind of hard to find those people, because for every person I find that's talking about literary fiction, translated fiction, or psychology books or nature writing, there's like 21 million people talking about YA. So generally just more of a balance of all the genres would be nice. What do you feel is the best way to make friends on Booktube? Like what everyone else has said, basically just comment on other people's videos and show that you've actually watched that video and actually give them a thoughtful response. That's definitely the way to do it, especially people that have started out around the same time as you. I think that that's definitely the way to go. I've definitely made friends just by interacting with other people on their videos and it's been really fun, so definitely commenting. What do you enjoy most about making Booktube videos? I love the interaction side of things. I love coming up with ideas. I have like an endless idea list of things I want to do on here, and I really love editing. I know most people say they hate editing, but I love editing. Sometimes I do rush it though, so it's never like particularly polished, but I do really like doing it. What do you least look forward to when making Booktube videos? Probably this part, because I just turn into an inarticulate mess. I have to like say the same sentence about 10 times because it literally just comes out as blue, 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 blue. And then I get really frustrated with myself, and also I just realise how much of a wee twat I am because I laugh at myself, I'm blunt and I swear, and then I'm just I cringe at myself a lot, so I'm quite shy and quite awkward, so this part can be quite challenging sometimes, but I obviously still enjoy it because I wouldn't do it. I'm very aware of that, what I'm doing now. What videos other than tags, TBRs, wrap-ups, reviews and recommendations do you want to see more of on Booktube? I really like discussion videos. I've really enjoyed making discussion videos, but watching them I also love as well, because it definitely gives you the most opportunity for some decent interaction with someone else, because you're going to have a response to what they say. So I definitely really love discussion videos. I also really like videos, so on my channel I do this series called Book Roulette, which is just this like fun game where I spin a roulette wheel and that helps me decide upon a book that I'm going to read for the month. So I love things like that on other people's channels. There's people that I've watched that they've wrapped their books up in wrapping paper, and I love that, so you're unwrapping the books that you own. So that's really fun. So like anything like that, just kind of fun ideas like that I really enjoy as well. What are some themes you want to see more of in books? I really like the love conquers all theme. I can't even say it seriously. What I really like in books is themes in which it's exploring the sort of negative sides of society or politics. Books that really kind of make a point about those things. So I'm thinking about things like 1984 by George Orwell, The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood, High Rise by J.G. Ballard. I love all books like that that really make you think about things in reality. I also really like feminist utopias, so that's kind of particularly in science fiction where they look at ideas of gender. They create like all female planets or all male planets and it explores what that would be like. That definitely really makes you think about gender roles within society. I also just really like themes of just like looking at what it means to be human, really kind of getting inside the mind of an individual and that sort of introspective feel. I really love that as well. What are some of your Booktube goals? To put 2 videos up a week on a Wednesday and a Friday. I'm not sure how well that's going to like continue because I'm thinking about doing another degree, so I'm not entirely sure how that's going to go, because having a full-time job whilst doing a part-time degree, whilst trying to have a social life, whilst trying to be in a relationship, whilst trying to do Booktube, whilst trying to create poetry films, whilst trying to write a novel. The list is endless. I just want to do too many things. But yeah, to keep doing the 2 videos a week would be good. Other than that, I think just continue to come up with creative ideas of videos to make. Those are kind of my only real goals. What advice would you give to a booktuber that just created their channel? I definitely say you do you. Be yourself, because That's what I really like in other booktubers, is when I get a sense of who they are. Don't feel like you have to create content to fit in with what everyone else is doing. I think that you should create content that you actually want to create. You should create content that you can be proud of and be pleased about, and you will find your audience through that. If it's not something that's popular, you will still find your audience, but I would rather you were making content that you actually enjoyed making rather than just make something because that's what everyone else is doing. And interact with the community, because that is the really fun part as well. What are some qualities or traits that you look for when it comes to watching other booktubers? I definitely watch a lot of booktubers because they've got similar book taste to me. If you've got similar book taste to me, the chances are I will love your channel. But I also watch a lot of booktubers that I have no interest in the books that they read, which is weird in many ways, but it makes sense as well, because I like it for the creativity of the content they create, or I like it because of their personality. So there's nothing that specific. Sometimes I just like watching people's videos because they make me feel super chill. I like watching videos because I find them super fun. I like watching videos because I think that the individual's an inspiration. So I'm not sure if there's anything too specific. I just think that if a person is, you know, having fun and being themselves, then I will probably like to watch their channel. I also really like people that, you know, do have something interesting to say, which I feel like most people on here do. So, you know, having an opinion and, you know, being willing to put that out there. What is a fun fact or hobby besides reading and writing that other people in BookTube might not know about you? Fun fact, I collect bottles. Yep, I collect bottles. So if you see bottles around my room, it's not because I'm just like constantly drinking alcohol, it's because I collect bottles. This basically made me see that I don't do much else other than read or write. So I'm going to twist this to make it work. So this is in relation to writing, but I'm going to twist it. So I haven't done this for a while either, so technically this doesn't count either. But for some time I used to do spoken word, so I would go to these poetry nights that were kind of open mic, and I would get up there and I'd perform some of my poetry, and I absolutely loved it. It was so liberating just to get up there and swear at people and rant at people and like talk about the deepest, darkest things in my life, and just to see people laugh because they didn't know what else to do. So that was fun. I really like doing poetry nights, and I definitely want to do more of them, but it's just a case of I could do it more when I was unemployed and when I was working part-time. I don't really have as much free time to do it because I do work full-time, but it's something that I definitely want to go back to doing because it was just really fun. But the place that I used to do it in was this little tea shop. It was just this really welcoming community in this like really lovely setting, but unfortunately it shut down, so that kind of sucks. I also make poetry films, so I either kind of edit found footage or I create footage and I put poetry to it, so I do that. I also go running, but that's kind of more of a means to get to work these days rather than it being something that I do. I also used to play drums, guitar and piano. I don't really do any of that anymore. I do have a guitar here. My piano and drum kit is in Northern Ireland, but I do have my guitar here, which is neglected, but I'm just going to say that I do that. The last question is to tag some people, so if I decide to do that I will link those people in the description box. Otherwise, there you go guys, that was the Booktube Newbie Tag 2.0. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon, I hope. Bye.